started looking at it end of 2010. The reason why we started it was because we found that bursary programs that existed, most students studied outside of KZN and very often didn't return to KZN. So it was causing a shortage of CAs in KZN for some of the auditing firms, particularly with disadvantaged students. So what we did was we said we're going to have a bursary program that targets disadvantaged students, but also students at schools that aren't normally targeted. So we didn't want to go to the typical Model C schools and the typical schools even in the townships that were always targeted. We want to be different. We wanted to go to schools where the youngsters had no opportunities. And so that's why we went. I mean, Ayanda comes from Ladysmith. One of our other CTA students comes from Lusikisiki, so they come from all over KZN, not just in the typical catchment areas, which is where most bursary schemes go. We received, in our first year, we received about 80 applications. We sifted it down to about 40 students for sort of final, not offers, but a short list. And we then based our final selection on matric results. We selected so well that we lost a lot of our candidates because they were offered bursaries at UCT, Stellenbosch and some of the other big publics. So we decided instead of going for as many students, we would go for a smaller cohort, but just making sure that the quality was as good. We have obviously had a dropout rate along the way. Much as we obviously would like not to have a dropout rate, what we have realized is it's not just about academics. It's about changing the lives of people even if they don't eventually become CAs. So some of them may never become CAs, and we're quite cool with that because they've been enriched, they've learned skills which are going to send them out into the world and they'll do good, even if it's not as a CA. And that's been a challenge to get your head around, but I'm now very comfortable with it. I accept the fact that they won't all become CAs, but they will be better skilled for the real world, and that's actually what it's all about at the end of the day. We've obviously purposely selected strong academic students. Our selection criteria was financially very disadvantaged, but academically quite strong, because we know that that's what it's going to take to get through and to become a CA. They have done very well in first year particularly. They've done really well. The jump from first year to second year is big, so some of them have had a few wobblies going to second year, but many of them have come through it. And what we've done as well is we've said to students, you've got 3 years to complete the degree. If you take a 4th year, that's fine. When you finish your degree, come back and we'll assist you with the final leg as well. So even though we've lost students along the way, we haven't closed the door. We've said to them, if you don't quite meet it academically, you can come back when you finish your degree and still complete CTA with us. Because again, we can't expect them all to be able to complete in 3 years. They come from backgrounds where they haven't had the learning advantages that many of our students have had, and the transition is hard at the end of the day. And then also off, second language as well, different language. So it's hard. So we've also come to terms with the fact that they won't all finish in 3 years, their undergraduate degree, and that's fine. When they finish, come back and do CTA as well. So at the end of the day, we're being a bit more open-minded about it as well.